In today in a seated position, in what I call an upright, dignified position. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable and if that feels safe. And with your eyes closed, just notice right away where your thoughts go. Do you start thinking about all of the things that you think you should be doing instead of doing this? Are you running down another to-do list for things at home? Or are you able to actually give yourself permission to be here? Allowing yourself to physically and mentally be on your mat is well more than half the battle to a successful practice. So allow yourself this time and give yourself the permission to be curious about what unfolds in your practice. We're not here to judge ourselves. Not, oh, yikes, my shoulder bothers me. I should not have done this. Why did I do that? How come I this? Shoulda, woulda. No, everything is just, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I'm gathering information. So bring your hands together at your heart center and make a short intention that for your whole time on the mat this afternoon, you'll try to go through your practice with a sense of curiosity, a sense of information gathering, a sense of wonderment, not a sense of judgment or criticism. And then inhale that intention deep into your heart center and exhale it out into the world. Allow your chin to start to drop down toward your chest. If you are the type of person that holds a lot of stress and tension in their neck, you're going to feel a little something here. So see if perhaps you can even tuck that chin in a tiny little bit more. And then begin to open your eyes and follow your hands with your gaze as you raise your arms up over your head, reaching up as high as you think you can, then taking another little breath, reaching up even higher. And as you exhale, you're going to bring that right hand behind you, left hand comes onto your thigh. Nothing crazy, just a gentle twist. Turn your belly and ribs, glance over that right shoulder. And then inhale, come back to center, arms raised back up. And as you exhale, that left hand comes behind you, right hand on your thigh. Again, nice gentle twist. And you glance over that left shoulder. Inhale back to center, arms up, palms forward, and lift yourself like you're pulling your upper body away from your lower body and begin to fold forward, surrendering your hands, your head, your heart. Everything comes down. Your butt stays anchored, right? So your hips are on that mat. We're creating some axial extension here. That's lengthening the spine. So begin to creep your fingers a little further forward. Maybe you can even visualize the space that you're creating in your spine. And then take another big breath in. Using your core, as you exhale, lift your arms up, sweep your hands behind you, fingers are pointing forward. Shoulder blades come together, chest lifts, belly lifts, gaze is upward. You draw your shoulder blades together to open that chest. Take a big breath in, fill your body with air. And as you exhale, lift your hips and drop your knees. We're going to try to stay here for a couple of breaths. And then release yourself down. Switch the cross of your legs. And once again, shoulders come together. Your chest opens. You lift your belly and your ribs. Nice big sip of breath. And as you exhale, those hips rise, those knees drop. And release yourself back down. Sweep your arms back up over your head, palms forward. And then gently draw your elbows down. Once again, squeezing those shoulder blades together. This is strengthening your upper back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now you're going to bring your elbows and forearms together. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Feel yourself filling your chest with air. Exhale, close. Try to get those forearms and elbows together. This is work for your upper arms. And then again, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Raise your elbows up a little bit. And then start to lower your elbows down and see if you can lean forward and tap your mat with your elbows. And then lift yourself back up. Keeping those elbows and forearms together if you can. Raise your arms up. And then slowly lower those elbows down. Tap your mat in front of you. And then lift yourself back up. Sweep your arms up over your head. Big, big, big breath in. And as you exhale, release your hands. Lift yourself up onto your hands and knees. Once you're on those hands and knees, spread your fingers nice and wide. You're pressing into your fingertips, not the heel of your hand. Start to drop your belly. Lift your tailbone. Look up. Big breath in. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone, round your spine, tuck your chin. Again, drop your belly, tailbone raises, look up. And as you exhale, tuck and round. Come to a neutral spine, curl your toes, leading with that tailbone, begin to lift your hips, lift your hips, lift your hips. And then drop your heels, relax your head. You're in maybe your first down dog of 2021. So spend a couple of moments here again with that sense of curiosity. Maybe you have to pedal your feet out a little bit, alternating bending your knees, tapping your heels, stretching your calves. And then come to a still point. Press that floor away from you. Maybe your hips come up a little higher. And then checking the distance of our down dog, come up onto your tippy toes, rock yourself forward to plank. We're going to try to stay here for 5 breaths. Big inhale. Exhale, 1. Another big breath in. Exhale, 2. Another big inhale. That's 3. Nice breath in. This is full body strengthening. Exhale, 4. Another big breath in, lift up on your thighs. Exhale, 5, come down onto your knees. Sink your hips to your heels. Bring your arms behind you. Let your shoulders melt into your mat. And then slide those arms back out. Spread those fingers to prepare. Lift your hips, curl your toes. You're in your down dog. Lift your right leg nice and high in the air. We're going to hold that leg up there. That right big toe turns in ever so slightly so you have that internal rotation. Take a nice breath in. As you exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, send it out. And again, right knee, right elbow, and out. Right knee to your nose and out. Right knee to your left elbow and out. And then step that right foot between your hands. Shift your weight into that right leg. Lift your left leg up behind you. You are in a standing split. We're going to stay here. So explore in your standing split how high you can lift that left leg. Explore if perhaps you can hold on to your right ankle with one hand, maybe with both hands. And then your fingertips come back to the floor. Step your feet together. Bend your knees, drop your hips, lift your arms. You're in your chair pose. And we're going to stay in our chair pose for a little while. So shift your weight into your heels. Wiggle your toes so you remind yourself that your weight stays in your heels. Your arms are active and engaged. This is the beginning of a new year. We're with a sense of curiosity, checking in with our bodies. Where is there a lot of strength? Where we perhaps have to build a little more strength? Nice breath in. Exhale, arms come out to the side. Another nice breath in. Exhale, arms come behind you. And then lift those arms just a tiny little bit higher. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Another nice breath in. Exhale, lift your arms back up. And then fold forward. Start to straighten your legs. Slide your hands to your shins, look forward. And as you exhale, fold again. Bend your knees. You're going to walk yourself or jump yourself to plank pose. We're going to be here again for 5 breaths. Big inhale. Exhale, 1. Press your heels back as you breathe in. Exhale, 2. Maybe you squeeze your glutes. Exhale, 3. Feel your chest involved. Exhale, 4. That belly is helping. And as you exhale, lift your hips. You're back in down dog. And now that left leg comes up nice and high. You turn that left big toe in ever so slightly. Nice sip of breath. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Send it out. Again, left knee, left elbow. And out. Knee to nose. And out. Left knee, right elbow. And out. Look between your hands. Step your left foot forward. Shift your weight forward. And now that right leg comes up into the air. Right, so we're here for a little while. That right toe is turning in a little bit. We're exploring how deep our bend is in our standing split. We're exploring if maybe one hand comes to our ankle, maybe both. And then fingertips back to the floor. Step your feet together, drop your knees, lift your arms. You're back in your chair pose. Remind yourself again, wiggle those toes. We're going to be here a little while. Take another nice breath in. Exhale, arms come out to the side. Another big breath in. Exhale, arms come behind you. Another big breath in. Exhale, arms come in front of you. Sink a little lower. And then fold forward, straighten your legs. Hands come to your shins. Look forward. And as you exhale, fold. Turn your palms upward. Sweep your arms up over your head. Relax your shoulders. Step your right leg back. Your left leg is forward. You're going to bend your left knee. So here we are in our warrior one, right? In your warrior one, make sure that your hands are on your hips and you don't let that right hip start to shift out. We want both of your hip bones facing forward. Your shoulder blades are resting on your back. That back right heel is anchored to the floor. Take a nice breath in. As you exhale, start to lean forward. Perhaps you can think about me holding onto your wrists and guiding you even further forward. Using your core, inhale, lift up. Exhale, stretch forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, stretch forward. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, stretch forward. Maybe from here you can shift your weight forward and lift that right leg out behind you. And stay here for 3 breaths. Big breath in. Exhale, 1. Another big inhale. Exhale, 2. Another big breath in. As you exhale, that right leg drops back. Arms come back up. Bend your left knee. You're back in your warrior 1. Elbows come down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Sweep your hands behind you. Clasp your hands together. Lift your chest. Look up for a moment. So this is why you really need that right heel anchored, right? You need both of your feet to keep you steady here as you look up. And then as you exhale, look forward, lean forward, drop your head as you lift your arms. Pressing into both feet, lift yourself up. Release your arms, relax your shoulders. Now you can start to turn that right foot. And look what happens. Your hip turns, your whole body turns. That left knee is deeply bent. Now we're in warrior 2. The heel of your front foot is lined up with the arch of your back foot. You're not leaning too far forward, right? The back of your head is lined up with your tailbone. Maybe you bend that front knee a little bit more, right? We're checking in on our strength level here today. And then release your left hand. Right arm comes up into the air. Turn and look up to your right hand. And then look down to your left foot. Inhale, right hand. Exhale, left foot. And then perhaps you can let that left hand drop down toward the floor, using that left elbow to guide that left knee and thigh back a little bit. And hold yourself here for a moment. Using your core, using your exhale, using that back right foot. Lift yourself back to your warrior 2. Maybe that front knee bends a smidge more. And then you're going to straighten that left leg, turn your toes forward. Your arms are still out to the side. Take a moment to feel the outer edges of your feet on the floor. And then slowly start to hinge forward. Your butt back, your chest forward. And then you release yourself down, hold on to your ankles, relax your head. Take your left hand, bring it on top of your right hand. So now you're in a little bit of a twist in your wide-legged forward bend. And your left hand comes back to your left foot or ankle, and then your right hand comes and lays on top of it. Bring both of your hands into the middle of your legs and see if you can get your palms onto the floor. So that might be, a little too much for today. Maybe you're staying on your fingertips. Maybe being on your palms feels comfortable and accessible. Perhaps you even explore what it would feel like to try to bring your elbows or your forearms down to the mat. And then straighten your arms. Bring your hands to the outer edges of your legs. Big breath in. Use your exhale to slide your hands up your legs. Hands to your heart center. Bend your knees. See if you can jump your feet together. Or walk your feet together. And just stay here for a moment. Close your eyes. Travel through the entire outer edge of your foot, starting with your big toe. Trace around to your pinky toe, down the outer edges, around your heels, the arch, the ball mound of that big toe and back up to the top. And now you're going to step your left, you open your eyes, step your left leg back, your right leg is forward, right? Your hips are facing forward. We're not turned out to the side. That's warrior two. Warrior one, our hips face forward and that right knee bends. If your feet are too close together, you're not going to be able to use that back leg as leverage. So you want to use that back heel, that back leg. You have a nice bend in that right thigh, and then your arms are up, your shoulders relax. Take a nice breath in. As you exhale, you start to lean forward, right? The further forward you lean, the more of a stretch you're going to get in that right glute. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, stretch forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, stretch forward, and maybe you try to see if you can shift your weight into that right leg. Lift that left leg out behind you, warrior three. Hold it for 3 breaths. Release that back leg down. Bend your knee again. Palms forward. Bring your elbows down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Hands behind you, clasp your hands together, feeling both of your feet firmly on the floor. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, look up. Look forward. Start to lean forward, 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 and then you release your head down as you lift those arms up. Pressing into both of your feet. Lift yourself back up. Open your arms out to the side. Turn that back foot. Come to your warrior two. Right? So you know that we're going to be here for a little while. So you check the positioning of your feet. Are your legs nice and wide? Do you feel as if you're pulling your mat apart with both of your feet? Can you bend that right knee a little bit more? Release your right hand onto your thigh. Left hand comes up to the sky. Turn and look to that left hand. And then look down to your right foot. Inhale, left hand. Exhale, right foot. And then look forward. Drop that right hand down toward the mat and use that right tricep and that right elbow to kind of guide that right knee and thigh back a little further, stretching open that hip. And then maybe once again, you look up to your left hand. Ooh, little balance challenge. Pressing into your feet, using your core. Lift yourself back up. Stay in your warrior two for 3 breaths. Straighten your leg. Point all 10 toes forward and then bring your hands to your hips. Rest your arms for a moment. And scoot your heels forward, toes out. Bring your hands to your heart center. Take a nice breath in. And as you exhale, bend your knees. Nice big inner thigh stretch. Big work for your hip joints. You're using your whole foot here, okay? So we're going to take a nice breath in. As you exhale, arms come up, stand up. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Every time you come down, maybe you come down a little more. Inhale, lift, stretch those fingers. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, hold it. Shift your weight into this right leg, straighten your left leg. And come back to center. Shift to the left, straighten your right leg. And center. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little lower. Try to stay here. 3 breaths. Press into your heels. Zip up your legs. Let your thumbs rest on your chest. So we're exploring a lot of different things, right? If that was challenging for your thighs, interesting. If that was challenging for your respiratory system, your heart rate really sped up a lot, interesting, right? These are all things that maybe we think about, oh, maybe we have to work on that a little bit. Not good, bad, just interesting. If you had a wall, which someday you will, someday soon, when we come down into that Buddha squat, sometimes I used to make you lean against a wall to do it, right? It makes it a lot harder. We're gonna, without the wall, I want you to take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, imagine that you're sliding down a wall, okay? So what does that do? It keeps your back upright. So when you lean forward, it gets a little easier. When you keep your back upright, right? So the back of your head and your tailbone are lined up with each other. It's just a big challenge. It's much more of a challenge when you're upright. So try to hold it. And then if you can, raise your right heel and release. Raise your left heel and release. Inhale right, exhale release. Inhale left, exhale release. Inhale both heels. As you exhale, stay here 3 breaths. Release your heels, zip up your legs. Nice breath in. As you exhale, come down, down, down. Now you can lean forward a little. Let your elbows come inside your thighs. And then we're going to try to transition by bringing our hands behind us and sitting down. Or if that doesn't feel safe, you just come and sit down however you can. We're going to leave our knees nice and open. Take your hands, bring them inside your legs. Circle your hands around your ankles or your feet. Big breath in. And as you exhale, your chest comes forward and your chin comes forward. And you try to imagine the day that you can kiss your toes. Lift yourself back up. Leave your left leg where it is. Stretch your right leg straight out. Place your toes pointing to the ceiling. Sweep your arms up and then lean forward. See if you can hold on to that right foot. So notice what happens with that left knee. Is it dropping out to the side? We want to try to keep it as upright as possible, right? So this is part of the work, keeping this leg engaged. Take another breath in, lift your chest. And as you exhale, bend your elbows a little. See if you can come a smidge further forward. Slide your hands up your leg. And then take this left leg, bring it to the outside of your right leg. Wrap your right arm around it. Left hand comes behind you. You bring yourself as upright as possible. This is as long and straight as your spine has been all day. Big breath in. Now you turn your belly as you exhale, you turn your ribs, you turn your chest, your neck and head start to turn, and you really look over that left shoulder. So we did a gentle twist in the beginning where we're kind of just glancing over our shoulder. Now perhaps you think that there's something really interesting going on back there. And you've got to really turn your body to see what's happening behind you. Come back to center. And then do a little counter twist. So your hands come to the outside of your right hip. You bend your elbows like you're doing a little push-up. Lift yourself up. And then you're going to take that left foot out of the way. Bring the soles of your feet together. So you can experiment. If your feet are really close in and your knees are really high up, maybe you slide your feet out a little bit so your knees can relax a bit more. Take a big breath in, lift your chest up. And then again, we're leading with our heart. So we're coming forward, forward, forward. Your elbows can rest on your legs. Come as far forward as you possibly can. And then you can relax your head. Lift yourself back up. Bring your knees up. And now you slide that right leg out. Oh no, you slide your left leg out and your right leg stays up. So part of this is not letting that leg flop out to the side. We're trying to keep that foot planted on the floor. This leg stays active. Toes of that left foot to your face. Reach up, big breath in. And as you exhale, lean forward. Take a nice breath in, lift your chest up. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, come a little further forward. Slide your hands up your legs. And then you're going to take that right foot, bring it to the outside of your left. Wrap your left arm around. Notice when you wrap that arm around, it helps you to sit up nice and tall. Right hand comes behind you. Your thumb is by your tailbone. You're using your arm as a lever to keep that spine straight. You always come into a twist from a straight spine. Big breath in. Exhale, belly turns, ribs turn, chest turns. And then you really look over that right shoulder like there's something incredibly fascinating happening behind you. What could it possibly be to get you to turn a little bit more? Come back through center. Both of your arms come up, and then you do that little half of a push-up on the other side. Lift yourself up. Uncross your legs, knees stay bent. We're coming down onto the ground, or the floor. So look behind you, make sure that when you land, you're gonna land safely. Arms come straight out. Take a nice breath in. Try to keep all 10 toes on the mat. As you exhale, lower yourself a couple of inches. We're gonna try to stay here for a few breaths. And then come down just a tiny little bit further. Try to stay here. And then lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Hug that right knee in, hug that left knee in. Wrap your arms around your legs and give yourself that nice soothing rock. Come to a still point. Open your arms out to the side. Let both of your knees fall halfway to the right. Your head turns to the left. So those knees are not on the floor. Your thighs are not on the floor. Why? Because we're working our obliques here. We're working that left hip here. Inhale your knees back to center. And as you exhale, they both come down halfway to the left. Your head turns to the right. Inhale back to center. As you exhale, stretch your legs up into the air, point your toes to your face, press your heels to the ceiling. Nice breath in. And as you exhale, lift your head and shoulders, fingers reach toward those toes, stretch, stretch, stretch. Hold it. Maybe you lift your hips up off the mat a little. Release your head, release your shoulders, arms come to your side. Slowly lower that right leg, almost the whole way down. Let it hover. Bring your left knee in towards your armpit. Slowly bring that right leg back up into the air. Left leg stretches up to meet it. And then your left leg slowly lowers down. And you bend your right knee and you bring it in towards your armpit. Release your left foot to the mat. Release your right foot to the mat. Stretch it out. Sweep your arms over your head. Think about somebody holding onto your wrists, somebody else holding onto your ankles, and they're pulling in opposite directions. But think of it as a good feeling. Keep stretching, stretching, stretching. Take a big breath in, hold this breath. And then exhale, let your arms fall to your side. Turn your palms upward if it feels comfortable. So your chest is open, so your body is receptive. Allow your hips and thighs and knees and calves and shins and ankles and feet to let go. So the beginning of a new year is oftentimes where we tend to do something called making New Year's resolutions. But in the yogic world, we kind of believe that resolutions sort of start from a place of deficiency or criticism or harshness, right? Like, I have to lose 10 pounds. What's that saying? It's saying you're overweight. Oh, I have to call my sister more often. What's that implying? I'm a bad sibling. So in the yoga world, we make what we call a sankalpa. And it means a vow to live to our highest truth, live to our highest potential, to believe that we already have within us everything that we need. We just kind of have to remind it to come up and come out. So a sankalpa would be something more along the lines of, I am a strong, healthy person. So everything you do is continuing on that journey. I am a loving family member. I am a person who lives in the present. Not, I have to do something about my anxiety. What is anxiety? It's worrying about the future. So if you say, I am a person who lives in the present, it reminds you, you're always in the process of reaching your highest potential. So just spend a couple of moments here as you notice your body continuing to release and relax, what are some of these present tense positive statements that you could make? What vows going into 2021 can you make to continue on your best journey? Take another nice, big, full, deep breath in. And use this exhale to help you travel through whatever motions your body needs to travel through to come back to a comfortable, upright, seated position. And bring your hands back together at your heart center. In this new year, perhaps one of your vows would be to be a person who lives with gratitude. And we can start right here and right now by expressing gratitude toward ourselves for making the commitment to spend time on our mat this afternoon. If you would like to seal your practice with the sound of Om, we can chant one Om together. So if you're joining me, take a nice, big, full breath in. Namaste.